Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Dandavat.
Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Just going to start. Okay, Hare Krishna. So we will start with short Kirtan, Jai Radha Madhav. I would request Saurabh Prabhu to please repeat.
Ji Prabhu.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari
Gopi Vallabh
Vallabha Girivardhari
Girivardhari
Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajananjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Banachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari
Jayom Vishnupada Paramamsa Paripradikacharya Ashtotar Sat Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Shri Upadesamrita Ki Jai Shri Rupa Goswami Pada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari. So Hare Krishna, I would like to welcome all of the devotees present here in this Upadesamrita class. So we are presently discussing the very second verse of Upadesamrita. In the previous class, we discussed four aspects, four unfavorable things towards bhakti. So they are atyaharaha, prayasaha, then prajalpaha, and janasangaha. Still niyama, agraha, and laulyam, these both are left. Okay. So in today's class, we will try to understand these two aspects which are unfavorable for execution of devotional service. Yes. Yes, so Prabhupada, he goes on discussing about the commentary written by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur on this verse, that is Anuvritti commentary. and how Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, he comments on Atyahara aspect. So that aspect we already discussed while we were actually discussing the Atyahara. So there are some examples of Atyaharis. So we'll just quickly go through that. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anuvritti commentary that too much endeavor to acquire knowledge on the part of mental speculators or dry philosophers fall within the category of Atyahara. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, the endeavor of philosophical speculators to write volumes of books on dry philosophy, devoid of Krishna consciousness, is entirely futile. The work of karmis who write volumes of books on economic development also falls within the category of Atyahara. Similarly, those who have no desire for Krishna consciousness and who are simply interested in possessing more and more material things, either in the shape of scientific knowledge or monetary gain, are all included under the control of Atyahara. So these type of people, they also fall under the category of Atyaharis. Now, Srila Prabhupada, he gives a very nice example of the karmis. So I would like to ask Kanta Krishna Prabhu to start reading from karmis, karmis labor to accumulate.
Karmis labor to accumulate more and more money for future generations only because they do not know their future position. Interested only in getting more and more money for their sons and grandsons. Such foolish persons do not even know that their position is going to be in the next life. There are many incidents that illustrate this point. Once a great karmi accumulated a vast fortune for his sons and grandsons, but later, according to his karma, he took his birth as a cobbler's in a cobbler's house, located near the building building in which his previous life he had constructed for his children. It so happened that when this very cobbler came to his former house, his former sons and grandsons beat him up with shoes. Unless the karmis and the jnanis become interested in Krishna consciousness, they will simply continue to waste their life in fruitless activities.
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, here karmis are counted as the Atyaharis, and karmis accumulate so much money, and they are actually not knowing what will be their future position. So Prabhupada is actually illustrating this point by giving a very beautiful incident that there was a great karmi, and he accumulated so much money for his sons and grandsons. But because of his karma, what happened? He took birth in a cobbler's house that was located near the building, which in his previous life he had constructed for his children. So it so happened that when this very cobbler came to his former house, his former sons and grandsons beat him with shoes. You see? So it's unpredictable. The situation, the position of karmis, they do so much atyahara, and they think that their situation, they will be living their life eternally. And in this way, they make so many plans, but they don't know that any time death can come and devour them. So, yes. So that's why unless and until karmis and jnanis, they become interested in Krishna consciousness, they will simply continue to waste their life in fruitless activities. After explaining this, Prabhupada is getting into the aspect of Niyama Agraha. Niyama Agraha. So accepting some of these scriptural rules and regulations for immediate benefit as utilitarianist advocate is called Niyama Agraha. And neglecting the rules and regulations of the Shastras, which are meant for spiritual development, is called Niyama Agraha. So actually there are two interpretations of this word Niyama Agraha. Niyama Agraha. Niyama Agraha and Niyama Agraha. Yes. So the very first, this word Niyamagraha, according to Sanskrit grammar, there are some rules of Sandhi. So this word can be splitted in two ways. The very first way this Niyamagraha can be splitted, that is Niyama and Agraha. So it becomes Niyamagraha. According to some Swara Sandhi rule, it becomes Niyamagraha. So what is the meaning of Niyama Agraha if we split in that way? It means that accepting some of the scriptural rules and regulations for immediate benefit, or as utilitarianist advocate. So that is mainly some material benefit. Sometimes people accept so many scriptural rules and regulations so that some material benefit they can have. And even though they have got higher taste, even though they have got learned about Krishna consciousness, which is higher taste, then also their faith in karma kanda, in following those rituals, that is still there. So that is an example of Niyama Agraha. Even though that person has got higher consciousness, higher taste of bhakti, but still he has that faith that karma kanda section mentioned in the Vedas will give him some benefits. So that's why that person engages in following those scriptural rules and regulations for some material benefit. And on the other hand, if we split this Niyamagraha word in another way, then it becomes Niyama Agraha. Again, the same Sandhi, if you do, then it becomes Niyamagraha. So the meaning of the word Niyama Agraha, that is that neglecting the rules and regulations of these Shastras, which are meant for spiritual development. This is again in other direction, other extreme. That person does not perform the rules and regulations which are mentioned in the Shastras. It does not follow 4 regulative principles. It does not chant 16 rounds. So that is example of Niyama Agraha. The word Agraha, Prabhupada is explaining, the word Agraha means eagerness to accept, and Agraha means failure to accept. By the addition of either of these two words to the word Niyama, rules and regulations, the word Niyamagraha is formed. Thus, Niyamagraha has a twofold meaning that is understood according to the particular combination of words. See, those interested in Krishna consciousness should not be eager to accept rules and regulations for economic advancement. Yet they should very faithfully accept scriptural rules and regulations for the advancement of Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is clearly stating that those people who are interested in Krishna consciousness, they should not acquire or they should not perform those rules and regulations for their economic advancement or for their material benefit. But they should accept only those rules and regulations so that they can advance in Krishna consciousness. Then Prabhupada is explaining they should strictly follow. What are those rules? What are the scriptural rules and regulations which have to be followed by the members of Krishna consciousness movement? That is, they should strictly follow the regulative principles by avoiding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. So a devotee, he should not do niyama agraha or niyama agraha. Niyama agraha means eager to accept, or very much eager to accept all those rules and regulations for some material benefit. You see, in Vedas there are so many rules and regulations prescribed for some material benefit. So that's why a devotee should not accept those rules and regulations, should not follow, but he should accept those scriptural rules and regulations that are there for advancing in Krishna consciousness. And on the other hand, a devotee should not do on other extreme. He should not do like not following any of the rules and regulations. So it is not that Krishna consciousness, so I will do whatever I like, but I will not follow any rules and regulations. So that is not good. If you are practicing Krishna consciousness, then there are some scriptural rules and regulations which you have to follow, and they are these 4 regulative principles. So this is the twofold meaning of this word niyama agraha, and this is another aspect which is unfavorable for our devotional service. So a devotee should not perform any of this rule. Not niyama agraha, eager to accept something for, or eager to accept rules and regulations for material benefit, for economic advancement, and niyama agraha, that is, he should follow. He should not fail to accept the rules and regulations for the advancement of Krishna consciousness. Then he's going on explaining, one should also avoid association with Mayavadis who simply blaspheme Vaishnavas, devotees, Bhukti Kamis who are interested in material happiness, Mukti Kamis who desire liberation by emerging in the existence of the formless absolute Brahman, and Siddhi Kamis who desire the perfection of mystic yoga practice, are classified as Atyaharis. To associate with such persons is not at all desirable. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he's telling more insight into the aspect of Jana Sanga. He's telling, of course, we should not associate with materialistic persons. Bhakta Sanebas. Narottam Das Thakur is saying Bhakta Sanebas. We should associate with the devotees only. And now, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he is actually going into these intricacies, that who are those people whom the Vaishnava should not associate. The very first one is, one should avoid association with Mayavadis. Mayavada sunile hoy sarvanash. Mayavada bhashya sunile hoy sarvanash. So if you hear the philosophy of Mayavadi, then your bhakti is doomed, is finished. So Mayavadis, they are blasphemers. They are the blasphemers of Lord Krishna and his devotees. So that's why, first of all, we should not associate with the Mayavadis. Second is what Bhukti Kamas. Those who are interested in material happiness, we should also not associate with them also. Then next is Mukti Kamis, who are desiring liberation by merging in the existence of the formless absolute Brahman. So a devotee is advised that he should not associate with such kind of people. This is also coming in the category of Jana Sangha. And Siddhi Kamis, who desire the perfection of mystic yoga practice. So these all types of people, they are considered as Atyaharis. And a devotee is advised that he should never associate with such type of Atyaharis. If a devotee, he associates with any type of people, then definitely he cannot advance in bhakti process. So I would like to give some quotations. Yes, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stated, Asat Sanga Tyaga Ei Vaishnavacha, Stri Sanga Eka Asadhu Krishna Bhakta Ara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is stating, for a Vaishnava, the standard behavior is to avoid the association of ordinary people, not interested in Krishna Bhakti. Such common people are first those who are too materially attached, especially to women, and second, people who are not at all devotees of Lord Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling two types of people Krishna Bhakti should not associate with. Very first one is that those who are too materially attached, especially to women, Stri Sangi. Okay. And secondly, people who are not at all devotees of Lord Krishna. So those who are not at all interested in devotional process, in devotional service, that a devotee should not associate with those people. So Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj is actually giving more divisions. Who are they actually? Mayavadis. They are not at all interested in devotional service. They are blasphemers. Then Mukti Kamas. They are materially attached, especially to women. Mukti Kamas. Mukti Kamas, they are not devotees of Lord Krishna. So the bhakti is beyond mukti. Yes, bhakti is greater than mukti. And impersonal liberation. Those who are interested in impersonal liberation, that a devotee should not associate with such kind of people. And again, Siddhi Kamis. Siddhi Kamis are what? Those who are interested in possessing mystic yoga opulences. So a devotee is not at all interested in such kind of mystic yoga process. Not at all. He is not at all endeavoring. But his only desire is that he wants to serve the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. Narottam Das Thakur says, Tandira Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevas Janama Janame Hoy Ei Abhilash. Birth after birth, I desire to serve the lotus feet of the Acharyas and live in a society of devotees. This should be our attitude. This should be our prayer to Lord. That, oh Lord, birth after birth, I desire to serve the lotus feet of the Acharyas and want to live in a society of devotees. Now, sometimes people may question, Prabhuji, we are working outside. So it's sometimes we are associating with non-devotees because, to maintain our body and soul together, then we have to work outside. So what to do? We are associating with non-devotees that time. Of course, we are connected to ISKCON, but when we go outside for work, then we have to associate. Then Prabhupada was asked the same question. Prabhupada told, okay, maybe because of your you have to work outside. So what you do? You don't give your heart to non-devotees. Okay, there are some problem. Okay, you have to, for maintaining your family, you have to work. No problem, but you don't give your heart to non-devotees. Don't exchange, don't perform the loving exchanges, the 6 loving exchanges with non-devotees. Otherwise, your devotional creeper will be uprooted. So, Prabhupada gave example of a monkey and a crocodile. So once upon a time, there was a monkey and he was sitting on the tree. So crocodile was there, nearby there was a river and crocodile came. So eventually they developed friendship. Once crocodile told that my wife wants to meet you actually, and we want to have a grand feast. So then the monkey actually, he sat upon the crocodile and monkey told, I don't know swimming. Crocodile told, okay, come on my back and then I will take you to the other side of my house. So then monkey, okay, he accepted the request. Then monkey, he climbed over the crocodile's back, and when he was going, then monkey told, for what reason actually you are taking me? What is going to happen? So then crocodile told that my wife wants your heart. She is very desirous to taste your heart. Crocodile was a foolish person. Crocodile was a fool. So monkey told that, oh, I left my heart in the tree itself. So please take me back. Then I will bring my heart, and then we can go. Crocodile was fool. He was ignorant. So crocodile again, he came back to that to monkey's house. So then monkey immediately he jumped over the tree, and then he told, you fool, from now onwards our friendship is finished. So Prabhupada was telling that even though you have to associate with non-devotees, because you have to work, you have to maintain your soul and body together, no problem, but don't give your heart. Don't perform the 6 living exchanges. Otherwise, because that is Jana Sanga, and that is unfavorable for one. So in this way, Prabhupada answered. So also, when we tell Jana Sanga, or we have to avoid the association of non-devotees. Now here, what does association mean actually? Association with devotees, Bhakta Sanevas. What does it mean? Association just does not mean a physical proximity. Now you can give example for sometimes on the body of spiritual master, fly also sits. Fly is also, it also taking some type of sangha or physical proximities there. But fly is not getting any spiritual benefit. Fly is not getting any spiritual benefit. Fly might sit on the body of spiritual master. So that's why our association should not be like a fly, only physical proximity. But association means emotional exchanges. Emotional exchanges. We have to associate with devotees through hearing their instructions. Sevon mukhe hi jivado swayameva svuratyada. So even though Lord Krishna is not perceived by our material senses, but if we have a service attitude, starting with the tongue, if we starting with the tongue now, with the Sevon mukhe hi jivado, starting with the tongue, then automatically the Lord Krishna will be revealed into his heart. So Shravanam ends the process. We have to associate with devotees. Rather, we have to hear from a pure devotee and try to apply those instructions in our practical life. And in the same way, we have to deliver these instructions to others. We have to perform Krishna Katha. And as we do Shravanam Kirtanam, immediately Lord Krishna is revealed in our heart. So this is the right way we have to take association. Sometimes nearby the temple there are employees. In the temple there are employees are hired sometimes, and neighbors are also hired. And for 25 years they are there. But still, after they leave, or maybe they, this type of people, they are not practicing bhakti. Why? Because they are not having any emotional exchanges with the devotees. There is only fixed physical proximity, but there is no change in the heart. Heart does not change. So this kind of association is not desired. Association means exchanging having emotional exchanges with the devotees. Okay. Yes. Then Prabhupada goes on to explain about laulyam. Desires to expand the mind by perfecting mystic yoga, merging in the existence of Brahman, or attaining whimsical material prosperity. are all included within the category of greed, laulyam. All attempts to acquire such material benefits or so-called spiritual advancement are impediments on the path of Krishna consciousness. So one who is desiring to expand the mind by perfecting mystic yoga or want to get so many siddhis, he has so much laulyam or greed and merging in the existence of Brahman. He is doing so much mental speculations. Neti, he's rejecting everything. And in this way, trying to acquire so much knowledge of Brahman. He is so much greedy. Also, or attaining whimsical material prosperity. Yes. So these people are so much, they are desirous of material prosperity. Karmis are very much desirous to have material prosperity. And this all three types of people, they fall under the category of laulyam. Prabhupada is telling all attempts to acquire such material benefits or so-called spiritual advancement are impediments on the path of Krishna consciousness. So this is the another aspect which is unfavorable for our bhakti process. Yes. Then Prabhupada is going further. Modern warfare waged between capitalist and communist is due to their avoiding the advice of Sri Rupa Goswami regarding Atyahara. Now Prabhupada is again coming back to the point of Atyahara and giving the example of capitalists and communists. Modern capitalists accumulate more wealth than necessary, and the communists, envious of their prosperity, want to nationalize all wealth and property. Unfortunately, the communists do not know how to solve the problem of wealth and its distribution. Consequently, when the wealth of the capitalists fall into the hands of the communists, no solution results. Opposed to these two philosophies, the Krishna conscious ideology states that all wealth belongs to Sri Krishna. Isha-vasyam idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat. Tena tyaktena bhunjitha ma gridah kasya suddham. So same point Prabhupada is mentioned. Everything, according to Krishna conscious ideology, all the wealth belongs to Krishna. So Lakshmi, wealth is Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is the wife of, Lakshmi is the property of Lord Vishnu. That's why wealth should be engaged in the service of Lord Krishna. Thus, unless all wealth comes under the administration of Krishna, there can be no solution to the economic problem of mankind. Nothing can be solved by placing wealth in the hands of the communists or the capitalists. Now, Prabhupada is giving very beautiful analogy. Please hear it attentively. If a $100 bill is lying on the street, okay, for example, if a $100 bill is lying on the street, someone may pick it up and put it in his pocket. Such a man is not honest. Okay, first type of man. What happened? What he did? What he did? He picked it up and put it in his pocket. So he's dishonest. Second type of man. What did he do? Another man may see the money and decide to let it remain there, thinking that he should not touch another's property. So he's okay. He's very much fearful. If I take that money, some karmic reactions will happen on me. That's why I should not take someone's property. This is another type of person. Now Prabhupada is telling, although this second man does not steal the money for his own purposes, he is unaware of its proper use. The third man who sees the $100 bill may pick it up, find the man who lost it and deliver it to him. This man does not steal the money to spend for himself, nor does he neglect it and let it lie on the street. By taking it and delivering it to the man who lost it, this man is both honest and wise. Second, the very first man is dishonest. But second man is honest, but he's not wise. He's not intelligent. He's not intelligent that he should deliver this property to the person who has lost it. But the third person, he is honest. Why? Because he takes that money and then he delivers to the right person who has lost it. So he's both actually. He's not using it for own use, but rather he's delivering to the right person. So Prabhupada is saying simply transferring wealth from capitalist to communist cannot solve the problem of modern politics. For it has been demonstrated that when a communist gets money, he uses it for his own self gratification. Sumati Mataji, we can continue from here.
Hare Krishna.
The wealth.
The wealth of the world actually belongs to Krishna, and every living entity, man and animal, has the birthright to use God's property for his maintenance. When one takes more than his maintenance requires, be he a capitalist or a communist, he is a thief, and as such, he is liable to be punished by the laws of nature. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. 1 second. There is a verse in Srimad Bhagavad Gita which states 3.12 Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva dasyanti yagya bhavitaha tairdattan apradayebhyo yo bhungte stena evasaha. In charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna, will supply all necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. See, there are so many demigods, and they are responsible for the maintenance of all the living entities. Like, for example, there is sun. Sun is supplying heat or light to us, and sun is a demigod. Similarly, Chandra Dev, and in this way there are so many demigods. Vayu Dev, then Varun Dev, demigod of water. In this way, demigods, they are maintaining all the living entities. They are giving all the maintenance provided to the living entities. But one who does not return it back by performing yajna, he does not return it back, then in Bhagavad Gita he is called as a thief. So now here, if you see, same thing, that Prabhupada is saying the same thing, that the demigods, they are the servants of Lord, and Lord has entrusted the demigods to provide all the facilities to living entities. So either now, if you do not worship Lord Shri Krishna, or a person who is not returning all the whatever debt he has got, the rin he has got for the demigods, so he is not performing any karma kanda process or anything, then he is certainly a thief. So Prabhupada is saying same thing. When one takes more than his maintenance requires, be he a capitalist or a communist, he is a thief. Stena means thief, and as such he is liable to be punished by the laws of nature. The wealth of the world should be used for the welfare of all living entities, for that is the plan of Mother Nature. Everyone has the right to live by utilizing the wealth of the Lord. When people learn the art of scientifically utilizing the Lord's property, they will no longer encroach upon one another's property rights. Then an ideal society can be formed. The basic principle for such a spiritual society is stated in the first mantra of Sri Ishopanishad. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Tena tyaktena bhunjitha ma gridah kasya suddhima. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself which are set aside as his quota, and should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So that's why one should not encroach upon one another's right. So Prabhupada is writing that when a person understands that all the things in this material world, it may be animate or inanimate. Either it may be animate or inanimate, that is controlled or owned by the Lord. Ishavasyam, Avasyam. And that's why one should therefore accept only those things which are set aside as his quota. So if we follow this principle, this Ishavasya principle, then an ideal society can be formed, and there can be peace in society. Prabhupada is writing, for that is the plan of Mother Nature. Krishna conscious devotees know very well that this material world is designed by the complete arrangement of the Lord to fulfill all the necessities of life for all living beings, without their having to encroach upon the life or rights of one another. This complete arrangement affords the proper quota of wealth for everyone according to his real needs, and thus everyone may live peacefully according to the principle of plain living and high thinking. I hope you remember this sentence. Prabhupada wrote this statement in the very first line of his purport to verse 2. Unfortunately, materialists who have neither faith in the plan of God nor any aspiration for higher spiritual development misuse their God-given intelligence only to augment their material possessions or to increase their material possessions. They devise many systems such as capitalism and materialistic communism to advance their material position. They are not interested in the laws of God or in the higher good, always anxious to fulfill their unlimited desires for sense gratification. They are conspicuous by the ability to exploit their fellow living beings. When human society gives up this elementary faults enumerated by Srila Rupa Goswami, Atyahara, all enmity will cease between men and animals, capitalists and communists, and so forth. In addition, all problems of economic or political maladjustment and instability will be solved. So, this is very important. Prabhupada told Krishna consciousness is a solution for all types of problems. Either it may be economic problem, political problem, social problem, or any other problem. All the solutions are there. So this pure consciousness is awakened by this proper spiritual education and practice offered scientifically by the Krishna consciousness movement. This Krishna consciousness movement offers a spiritual community that can bring about a peaceful condition in the world. Every intelligent man should purify his consciousness and rid himself of the above mentioned 6 hindrances to devotional service by taking wholehearted shelter of this Krishna consciousness movement. So yes, at last Prabhupada is telling that this pure consciousness regarding that we should avoid or we should inculcate the principle of Ishavasyam. This pure consciousness is awakened by proper spiritual education, which is offered by Krishna consciousness. Then Prabhupada is actually mentioning what Krishna conscious movement offers it. It offers a spiritual community that brings about a peaceful condition in the world. Because in Krishna conscious movement, this Ishavasya principle is being followed. That's why there will be peace in society. Bhoktaram yigya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam Kyatva mam shantim richati. Sri Krishna is telling peace formula in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the last verse of 5th chapter. So we have to consider Lord as Bhoktaram Yajnatapas of all the sacrifices and austerities. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Lord is the Swami or the Maheshwar, Lord of all the demigods and all the planets. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. Lord is friend or well-wisher of all living entities. And one who knows this, Kyatva Mam Shantim Richan. One who knows this, one who has realized this, he will attain peace. So Prabhupada is saying that the same principle is being followed in our Krishna consciousness movement. So at last, for a sadhaka, these are the proscriptions or the prohibitions which a sadhaka, which a neophyte devotee should. Because as I said before, that there are 6 processes of surrender. Anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjana. So pratikulyasya varjana, which is described in verse 1 and verse 2. So we should reject whatever they are unfavorable. So the spiritual master or the spiritual authority, they are the physician, the spiritual physician. They know how to purify the soul. And they have given these things, these prohibitions, through which devotee can easily, he can advance in bhakti. Now, after prescribing what are unfavorable things in bhakti, Sri Rupa Goswami is getting into the what are the favorable things in bhakti. Anukulyasya sankalpa. So what are the things which one should inculcate? Sankalpa, which one should practice, which one should follow. So that is described in text 3. Utsaha nishya dhairya tattat karma pravartana. Sangatyaga sato vrittehe shadbir bhakti prasidhyati. There are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotion service. What are they? First, being enthusiastic. Second is endeavoring with confidence. Third, being patient. Okay, what are they? Utsahan, that is being enthusiastic. Then Nishchayat, endeavoring with confidence, Nishchaya. And third is Dhairya, being patient. Fourth is acting according to regulatory principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. Fifth is abandoning the association of non-believers. And sixth, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. Sato vritte. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotion. Prasidhyati. There is no doubt about it, that a person will not succeed in bhakti. There is no doubt about it. Prasidhyati means it assures complete success. Okay, so in the next class, we will get into this purport of this 3rd verse, because it has so many things. Because the very first line of this purport, devotional service is not a matter of sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. So it's a very big actually aspect and very huge topic. And I would like to explain this concept in the next class. So now if there are any questions in the previous verse, in the 2nd verse, so they can ask now. Okay. So we will conclude here by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Rupa Goswami Pada ki jai. Shri Upadesamrita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.